Hi, I'm Anne Mezzenga, and welcome to Retail Field Report People of Retail series. Today, I have the pleasure of welcoming someone who I've been inspired by since the day that we first spoke. We were connected by a mutual friend who said, "You have to meet Jacques because he is really solely responsible for inspiring the people that work in all of our VF stores." So I am so thrilled to be able to bring to you today Jacques Herring, the head of retail for Americas at VF Corp. Jacques, thanks for taking the time to be with us today. Welcome to the show.
And thank you so much. The pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited to get to have you on. Before we get started, I want to know, what did you do before you showed up for work today?
I wake myself up and try to put myself in a spirit of gratitude. And I think
Oh,
that in retail, things go so fast paced, right? And you have to
yeah.
be in tune to be able to listen to others and set yourself aside. So being in a spirit of gratitude kind of puts me there. And then I go and take a
Okay.
workout. And so those are two
Yeah.
things that I would say that are very important to me as my routines.
I love the spirit of gratitude. I think that could help me as I approach my day as well. I probably should
Yeah,
start doing that. But what do you
you know,
do, or how do you get yourself in that mindset?
And here's the thing. Spirit of gratitude is really just thinking about just the small, it has to be the smallest thing of just saying, I'm grateful for. It could be that
Yeah.
I'm grateful I woke up this morning. I'm grateful for my spouse. I'm grateful for my
Yeah.
kids. I get to go and take my daughter to school before I start a long day. I get
Yeah.
to go and work with some amazing people. And then, when you tie that into prayer for whatever you believe, it just puts you in the right mindset. And so I would just say, don't think big, think
Yeah.
small, because
Yeah.
sometimes we
That's good
walk
advice.
past things every day so fast, we miss those things. Because guess what? There's going to be a day where you're going to feel like, gosh, I lost this day. But it helps you
Yeah.
stay grounded.
Well, I think that's excellent advice and probably comes from years of work and life experiences that you've
Yeah.
had. And so tell me a little bit about that, Jacques. Like what have you done kind of in your career that's really prepared you think, for, leading retail at a big company like VF Corp?
Well, I'll tell you, 25 years of retail I've been in, and I've touched, I would tell you, every sector. If you just say, what is the one that really prepared you for this role I'm in right now? I'll say leading through COVID.
Yeah.
And that was a
Okay.
very difficult time when you think the whole world changed.
Is there anything that stood out to you, Jack, about that time, like that you really felt like was critical to the success of your stores teams during COVID?
Focused on safety of our teams, safety of our customers. And when we did that, we built all our processes and our investments to make sure that those that showed up to workforce every single day showed up in a manner that they felt safe. And the consumers
Yeah.
can come in and also feel like they can have a really good shopping experience. But last but not least, when the world had changed around everyone, you had people working from home now. You had spouses at home now. You had
Mhm.
kids at home now. There were different needs of our teams that you had to slow down a lot more and listen to them. So I think understanding what service is and helping our teams get the yes and done set me up for this
Yeah.
opportunity, and this transformational opportunity we have for VF right now.
Let's talk a little bit about what that means now in the VF stores. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you, as their leader, kind of feel that the VF store teams can show up as best they can? Like, what's the number one thing you'd say that you want to put forth as a goal for them so that they can make their everyday as successful as
Yeah.
possible, with today's customer?
Yeah. So it's a couple of things. I'm sure you spoke to a lot of retail leaders, and there's many different angles and approaches. None of them are wrong, just different. But I firmly believe you cannot do the what without the who. So our first priority is focus
Mhm.
on our teams. What do they need? When they feel engaged, listened to, and when you solve issues and you return back to them and say, we heard you, we listened, and this is what we did, they feel inspired. Also,
Yeah.
you give them the training and the access. At this position, I'm so grateful that we can create development opportunities for our teams cross brand. We're one of the
Yeah.
largest multi-brand retailer out there, and we have development programs that cross brands where teams can grow themselves and give their families better access. So when you do that, they're truly inspired, focus on the consumer because they feel happy, they feel heard, and they
Yeah.
feel taken care of. Last but not least on this, we'll tell you, we're always looking at incentive plans to make sure people feel good about what they're doing and they get rewarded in an appropriate manner.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. What are some of those things that you feel like are most valuable, or that your teams are responding most immediately to?
We have a new communication platform that allows the communication to go all the way down to the associates. And we've heard
Okay.
raving reviews that to be have access where they can hear what's going on in the organization, they can hear what's going on in a specific brand, and then they can hear what's going on in specific markets, right? And then there's
Yeah.
recognition. People want to be seen and heard. So with this platform, is just not pushing information down, it's equipping them, but also adding recognition to those that continue to push forward. And then we have a training component, which they love. The training component allows them to take short burst quizzes that can
Okay.
equip them to know product, that can help them with leadership, help them with competencies. And I can tell you, I've got nothing but overwhelming response of how great this opportunity is because they feel more connected. Now, we still have a long ways to go. But I will tell you is that we've made so many strides in this journey, and I am just so excited for what's to come.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, Jacques. One, because I've been working in stores these last few months, and it's something that I was always, as somebody looking from the outside in, I was always a little skeptical of. Like, is somebody going to have time to take these quizzes for product knowledge? Is that
Yeah.
something as an associate I would be interested in? But I can tell you that I was in a store. I did one of these like gamified like quizzes,
Yes.
and you know what happened 10 minutes later is
Yeah.
I was able to help a customer by selling
Yes.
the bag because I learned that the material was waterproof. And, that was her point of contention, was like, I love this, but I don't know if I
Yes.
want to buy it because I live in New York City and I don't want it to get wet. Like,
Yes.
I saw that in real life, and not only do I think it pays off exactly what you're talking about, that investment in associate education,
Hmm.
and in just investment in their knowledge and their like capacity to understand all the opportunity within your family of brands. But it
Yes.
does kind of empower me a little bit on my own time versus like
Yes.
the old way of doing it, where it was these big binders of like, we're going to teach you all this stuff. And that's just not how associates want to learn anymore, I don't think. I mean, but it sounds like that's
No.
true. And that's what you're hearing as well.
Can I give you a quick
Yeah,
example of
love it.
that?
Yeah.
So on just an example on the training, you can
Yeah.
actually, as the training comes down and you get to kind of take it and get your score, you can pick a battle with somebody in another store to see who gets the highest score. So when you gamify, so think about how do you, I mean, learning has to be fun, right? And
Mm-hmm.
learning has to be engaging. And we have some of the best L&D teams and operational teams at VF that I think that is really accelerating some of the stuff we're doing. And
Yeah.
again, it is super fun to watch as we transform retail.
Your culture has to be invested in making sure that your associates are really representing you, they're representing the brand, and they have the support from their leadership like you. Um,
Absolutely.
so as you're thinking then about scale, like you just mentioned, and really continuing to develop the programming for your associates, how do you think about the things that you want to accomplish this year, Jacques? What kind of you're prioritizing as you think about improving the lives of your associates
Yeah.
and your stores teams?
I would call this a continuation more than I need to fix or start or stop anything like that
Yeah.
because we've started this journey, I would say about a year and a half ago. And
Hmm.
it's more of building a sense of community with a multi-brand retailer, which is fantastic, where um, they communicate, they share ideas, they learn from each other. You take the best practices and expand them across the brands and scale them. What that does is give us efficiency, operational excellence, but also people that will say, I will raise my hand and go work in other opportunities just because
Hmm.
now they know about them. They understand the brands. So I would tell you, for me, I want to continue to build that sense of community. I want to continue to align on the operational excellence, and everyone is in such a better place.
You clearly have a culture that recognizes investment in your associates. How much of a financial impact do you think that has? Like, yes, I think there's a lot of retailers thinking short term, like we've got a lot of costs to onboard, and with, with a lot of turnover, this is happening. But like in the grand scheme of things, if you have the culture that can look at the big picture, like how much of an impact do you think that's going to make as brands listening are really trying to scale their stores, their operations?
Let me answer that question from 25 years of experience, right?
Yeah.
When you invest in the teams, and I understand the cost is important, that's a real opportunity, right? It's a real opportunity to improve operations, to be able to get more efficient. But at the same time, when you slow down turn, and increase productivity, sales, there's a definite positive correlation to sales, shrink, and customer service. Because when you have constant turn, you have to hire and train back up again to get to a level of excellence that your customer deserves to have. And so focus on that consumer and look for ways to take cost out that could assist the associate, to me, is a much better proposition. So because then you have associates that really want to get fast and get better.
It sounds like there is a place for some of the new technology and tools that we're hearing stores use, but it's really about how do you make the repetitive, the tedious tasks for the associates in store kind of be pushed to the side so that they can focus on their development and their engagement with the customer.
Look, I would tell you, technology is a must, and you have to have accelerators to move you forward and get more efficient. But however, the equal focus has to be on associates and teams also, of how they use it. And so how do they get more productive? And so we can help us continue to grow and scale at a faster pace. So I don't see it as one or the other. I see it in parallel.
That's the right strategic approach based on a lot of the retailers that I've been talking to as well. Well, Jacques, I want to start to close out our interview. We've talked a lot about in this conversation, development of teams, development of people, and the importance of good leaders like yourself. You would never say that about yourself, but I'm saying that about you. But I want to know, I want to steal some little nuggets from you of wisdom, but I want to know what the last piece of leadership advice was that you gave someone.
Wow, that's every single day.
I'm sure.
So let me in a growth company, I've given this advice a few times, especially when leaders are stepping into new roles, expanded scopes. Embrace the seat, you earned it. You cannot play offense and defense at the same time. If this is your seat, bring your full self to it and continue to move forward without having to keep down if it's yours or not. Have that confidence because you earned the promotion.
Jacques, I have a feeling that I'm going to be getting so many messages about wanting to work for you after this. So I thank you for giving us that wisdom, but if you could start coming out with like a words of wisdom a day calendar or something, I think you'd have some takers, myself included. Okay. Last question for you. And I don't even know how you're going to narrow this down because you do this every day when you wake up. But what was the moment most recently that made you really excited or happy or make you just feel like I love this job? I'm so glad I'm here in my seat.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's hard to pin down to one. But what I can tell you is I never forget my journey and road to the seat, right? And I never forget what I stumbled with, what I excelled at. And so it's important to create an environment and shape a culture that acknowledges that and wants you to fail, wants you to hit the walls, but get back up. And make sure everyone feels like they have access, they can win. And the leaders that they're looking at, they see them in themselves and say, I can do that too. So I would tell you the seat I have and I'm blessed with, and I thank VF, and is that I get to help shape that culture across multiple functions. And that's what I'm most proud of, because I had a ton of mentors along the way that took me under the arm, and they taught me the door to knock on. They taught me who to go speak to, and they taught me how to go take those tough assignments, even when I was afraid to do so. So I'm able to every single day share that experience, and so that's why I'm happy, because we're moving right now. This is a movement. We're transforming VF retail, and I'm excited about what's to come.
I'm incredibly thankful that they have you helping to build that culture as you're building those teams and you're building the future of VF. Jacques, thank you so much for your time today. Thanks to everyone for joining us. What a gift to be able to have you on the program with us. If there is someone you'd like to see featured in our People of Retail Field Report, please let me know. And until next time, stay curious, stay connected. You can direct message me on LinkedIn or email me at anne@retailfieldreport.com to help make that happen.